Hi, I'm Laura, the founder of Source, and thanks so much for joining me as I share a bit about what we're doing at Source and how hopefully it can benefit you in your practice. So, I am a Gestalt psychotherapist and I've been in private practice for over 10 years. Um, I have also been running clinics in various forms for the last 4 years. And in that time, I have been connecting clients with therapists and matching them up. And it has become a real passion and skill and interest of mine. And I have been working with about 30 therapists over the last few years, helping them build their client load and maintain their client load so they can have a sustainable practice. And what I would really love to do with Source is to expand that so that I can help all of you make your practices more sustainable as well. And really, the most basic way that we will be doing that is connecting you with clients so that you need to spend less time on marketing and less time on client acquisition than you currently do. Because I think, as we know, as therapists, we come to this work to work with people and do therapy, and then we find ourselves having to develop an entirely new skill set that we might not already have access to, and end up doing a lot of marketing and spending a lot of time and also a lot of energy kind of worrying about the sustainability and reliability of our income. So this is where my work is heading. I will always still practice as a psychotherapist, but my passion that has really developed and my interest in helping therapists make their practices more reliable and more sustainable so that you can keep doing the beautiful work that you're doing. I live in Melbourne. I am a single mum. I'm not a multinational company. This is a startup. So essentially, if you're coming to Source now, you are joining something that is just beginning. And it's my hope that you guys can help inform the direction that Source goes in. This has been a big leap for me to kind of back myself into expanding this and doing something more with it. But it's almost since I had the idea for this platform, I haven't not been able to do it. And I felt more anxious about not doing it than doing it. It's been about 2 years since I first had the idea for this. And it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and actual tears. But I'm really determined and I really believe in this idea, and I really think it can benefit both therapists and clients to make this whole process a lot more streamlined and a lot easier. Our values are accessibility, integrity, and fairness. And again, I'm not a multinational corporation. I'm not looking to have therapists working for me. I don't want to exploit anybody's labor. I just want to provide a really good service that is fair and that is actually helpful. So that is essentially why I've created Source, to take what I'm already doing and expand it to not only be a business for myself, but to make this whole running our own small business thing that we're all doing a bit easier, a bit less time consuming, a bit less anxiety provoking in terms of where clients are coming from, and just a bit more sustainable energetically and financially. Ideally, I would really love Source to become a community and to become a place where we can really connect with one another, share referrals, share resources, and support one another in private practice. And there are beautiful Facebook groups that I'm a part of, full of really passionate therapists where those kind of communities are building as well. And I'd love Source to be another place where that can happen. Integrity is really important to me. Authenticity, going to be really real about how everything's going. There are probably going to be some glitches along the way, and I would really love to, I guess, have your feedback on those things and just keep working to make Source better and better as we go along. Just looking at my list of questions here. So essentially, I guess I should say what Source is and how it works. Source is a platform to connect clients with you, and I really love clients to be able to get a real feel from you, from your profile. It has capacity for you to put in things that you have lived experience in so that clients can potentially, if that's what they're looking for, find a therapist who knows what it's like to be where they are. And you can put in as much or as little information about that as you wish to. And I would love, ideally, for therapists to have some kind of video on their profile of them talking about their work, maybe how you approach different presentations or your philosophy on something, just to really give clients a good feel for you. And the way that Source is different from, say, a platform like Psychology Today is that there's no subscription. So you're not paying an ongoing fee, whether you're getting clients or not. You actually pay per client that you receive. So if you're not getting anything out of Source, it is not costing you anything. We take the first session fee up to $150, and then the client is yours. And you can either just take them into your private practice and rebook them yourself in the way that you normally do, or you can have them continue to rebook through Source, and we take a 3% fee plus processing fees for any rebookings that we get. So you're only paying for the acquisition of that client once, and how you manage that going forward is entirely up to you. Clients will also be invited to review you as a therapist, which I know can feel a little scary and a little clunky. And our reviews are in line with AFRA guidelines. But it's really, really important and helpful for clients when they're looking for a therapist. They do look for reviews. They do value reviews. They do want to know that someone has had a positive experience with you. And we know as therapists that the investment clients are making when they come to see us is huge. They are investing, obviously, their money and their time, but also their vulnerability, and they're coming and bringing everything to us in the hope that we might be the person who is going to be able to help them explore and navigate their experience. So I think the reviews are really powerful and really important for the clients to be able to take that leap and take that risk into going into therapy when they might have already had some difficult therapy experiences where they've been missed and it hasn't been the right person for them. The other thing that's different about Source is that when clients find a therapist that they like and they think they might like to book with them, they can actually see your availability and they can book themselves in and they can pay for their session at the time of booking. And so what that means for the client is that the whole thing is really streamlined. There's no back and forth website contact forms, seeing who's got availability, finding out the days and times that might work. We really want to make this process a lot easier because in my research and just from the thousands of clients I've spoken to in the last few years, the process is arduous and it's really difficult. And of course, when people are seeking therapy, they're often not feeling great and they're not feeling at their most capable. And so to have to go through such a difficult process is a real barrier to therapy. So I want to remove that barrier as much as possible so that clients can search, find a therapist they like, see their availability, book and pay, and it's all done, ready to go. And what that means for therapists is that clients can just, according to the availability that you've set, clients can just appear in your calendar with no work having been done on your part beyond the initial setup of your profile, and that session is paid for in advance. And the other thing that means is that Source cancellation policy will apply. And I know cancellation policies are really difficult to enforce, and it is something that I've found really difficult to enforce in my own private practice over the years because I genuinely care so much for my clients. I don't want to penalize them financially when they can't make it. But at the same time, I need a sustainable income. So generally, I have just taken that hit, and I know so many therapists out there just take that hit over and over again because we don't want to interrupt the therapeutic relationship with a cancellation fee and the enforcement of it. Essentially, when clients book through Source, they pay at the time of booking, and we're very clear about our cancellation policy that if you can't make this appointment and if you don't cancel it outside of the cancellation window, your fee will be forfeited. And in that way, we can be the bad guys for you. We can be the ones who enforce your cancellation policy for you so that you don't even have to deal with any of that. And of course, in particular circumstances, you will have the ability to waive the cancellation fee for your client. But essentially, it will be Source that's enforcing the cancellation policy, not you, meaning that you are still going to get paid if your client late cancels, so your income can be a little more stable. Our profiles are really comprehensive. As I said, we've got really comprehensive filtering. It's really easy for clients to use Source, and you are in complete control of your availability, of your fees, of your holidays and all of those kind of things. We are also, we're really different to a platform like BetterHelp, which I think a lot of people will be relieved to know, because you're not working for us. You are in your own private practice. We're not taking ongoing payments from the clients and only giving you a slice of it. Your income is your own. And as I said, if you choose to, when you acquire a client, you can just take that client and never use Source for any of your bookings again, if that's what you want. It's our hope that we can make things so much more streamlined that you will want to keep using Source, but you absolutely don't have to. And I think that is something I would really look for in my practice, that I want to acquire clients, but I don't want to work for anybody else. If I wanted to work for somebody else, I would have gone and done that instead of going into private practice. So I think it's really important that you have control and autonomy over your fee, your schedule, all of those things, your holidays, that you're not having to put any of that through somebody else, that you still have all of the flexibility of your private practice, but we are hopefully just adding an easy client acquisition avenue for you. So maybe I can try and show you, if I can know how to do it, what your profile will look like on Source. Can I do that? I don't really know how to do it, guys. Share. Yeah. I think I'd be better at So here are this is just in our design phase. These are what your profiles will look like on the app and web app. So you'll have your photo, you'll have your main specialties and things that you're trained in, and your bio, and you can make that as long or as short as you like. We have particular badges, so if you have been to therapy yourself, how much experience you have. Some of the lived experience you might have will be listed there as badges. You can list what your specialties are, what you really enjoy working with, your insurances. So some people will have Medicare, some people will have private health, work cover, all of those kind of things. They can be listed there. Clients can search according to those things as well. So a work cover client can search for therapists who can see them under work cover and Medicare, all of those different things. So clients can search very specifically for what they want. You will have your general availability in there for the clients to have a look at, and they can go through here and search through that as well and find something that suits them. You'll have your clinic address so they can see where that is, and your qualification and gender and those kind of things there. So that is what Source is going to look like in the app and web app when they become available a little later this year, 2025. And I'm really excited about how that's going to look and what the user experience is going to be like. And there's been a lot of work put into that. I had Source designed and then I had it built, and I decided it wasn't good enough. I had it redesigned and I had it rebuilt. It's been a really long journey to get here, and I'm thrilled and excited and also terrified to be at this point of actually launching it and actually asking you guys to come and be a part of it. But I am just really excited and passionate about it because I do really think it's going to be valuable for you guys, and I think it's going to make things easier for clients as well, and as I said, remove some of those barriers to therapy. So there are a few features that will be upcoming that you will be invited to take part in. If your practice is full at some point, you can close your bookings but have a wait list. And so the moment a client finishes with you, the moment you have a gap that you want to fill, you can open your wait list. The clients who have put themselves on your wait list will be notified that you now have availability, and hopefully that gap that you have will be filled really quickly, again, making your income more sustainable. There'll, as I said, there'll also be reviews, which, over time, if you collect some really good reviews, that is just really good data for clients, and that's going to hold you in good stead into the future, so that when clients are coming and looking at your page, they can see that you have been you have been on here for 2 years and you've got 16 5-star reviews. It just gives them so much confidence to go ahead and book with you, to take that leap. And it's social proof, and that's something that is just a part of our world now and is essentially necessary when people are making a choice. And this is a big choice. We rely on social proof when we're making purchases online. We look at the reviews and we read the reviews because we want to know what people's experience has been. And choosing a therapist is a way bigger decision than choosing a sofa. I think it's actually really important that we do have that social proof behind us, and that can hold you in such good stead into the future when people can see that you have managed to gather this evidence, essentially, of you as a therapist. And I know people have questions about it, and in some ways it doesn't feel great, and I totally get that. But if you think of it from the client's perspective, I think it's really, really important. Some people have a question like, oh, what if I get like a really bad and unfair and unreasonable review? There will be, I guess, the chance for us to moderate reviews. And if any reviews seem vexatious in nature, we would definitely, be open to conversations about that. However, your reviews need to be real. So there's no point in having reviews on here if they are cherry picked and moderated by us. It can also, a bad review every now and then can actually help people realize that the reviews are actually authentic. And so if you've got 10 great reviews and one bad one, it actually tells the client that those 10 great reviews are genuine and real. So I wouldn't be too worried about having the odd bad review where maybe it hasn't been the right match. But again, I am determined that Source is going to help you be found by the clients who are really looking for what you're offering. And those videos and the information on your profile are what is going to set you apart, because clients can actually get a feel for you when they hear you talking about your work. Another thing that is a possibility is we also have daily wisdom from our therapists. So in the app and delivered into clients who sign ups. Inbox is just little short daily videos. If you imagine like a Instagram or TikTok reel where a therapist just talks about maybe a philosophy, maybe a theory, an idea, a strategy, a little meditation, whatever it might be. Therapists are invited to submit their little daily wisdom videos, and that will be featured on the app and in the email list, and that will put you in front of more clients, so clients can get a feel for you and go, oh, who's that therapist, and click through and see your profile and book with you. So that's another way, I guess, you can enhance your visibility on Source, is to be involved in the daily wisdom videos. There is also an opportunity to be on our podcast. So we have a Source podcast, which I host, and in each episode I have a different therapist as my guest, and we have particular themes that we talk about, which other therapists' areas of interest, and they can talk about the ways that they work. We also have a little segment in the podcast where I become the client and the guest is my therapist for a 10-minute segment. And it's not a role play, it's a real therapy session. And how that came about is that I just had this idea that if people could see what therapy actually is, and what good therapy actually is, I think they would be more inclined to seek therapy. And I wondered how we could do that. I wondered, how could we show people what therapy actually is? That it's not just talking, that it's not just you going there and unloading, which you could do anywhere. It is actually someone helping you deeply explore your experience. And so these segments of therapy have been so beautiful, and they've been like really enlightening and helpful for me. They have been genuinely lovely experiences of just little segments of therapy for me. And then we chat about the little section of therapy that we did, and relate it back to what we've been talking about usually. And I just think it gives people an insight into how you specifically work, the podcast guest, and again, puts you in front of a lot more people, so that people who hear you speak, watch you do the section of therapy, and it resonates with them, they can then go to your profile, click through and book with you. And that is yet another way in which the clients can really feel you, and it really enhances the fit, so that they're feeling this resonance with what you're saying and how you're working. And, in my experience, talking to thousands of clients over the last few years, often clients call or email or come to me and they don't really have any idea of who they should see. But often if they've gotten a sense of a therapist from, and previously we've just had the regular, photos and bios, but if they've gotten a sense from of the therapist from that, and they are requesting a particular therapist, they're generally pretty spot on. Clients know who feels like the right fit for them, and that's something that I have come to trust more and more over the last 4 years, that when they feel resonance with somebody, they know that they are accurate. They know exactly who they should see based on how they feel when they encounter this person. And if they can encounter you in a video of you talking about your work, a detailed bio and profile about yourself, and potentially some daily wisdom or a podcast episode, you are going to have the opportunity to be in front of and resonate with so many prospective clients. So I think that, this is one of the points of difference of Source as well, that you are going to be able to be experienced by prospective clients in a way that other platforms have not maybe been able to provide. That is my dream, lofty ambition. But thank you so much for watching this video. It's probably a little longer than I intended, but I can tend to get carried away when I'm talking about Source. Just to recap, I would love to help you grow your practice in a way that doesn't require like an upfront investment or an ongoing subscription. I'd love to help make your practice more sustainable. I'd love you to get paid for late cancellations. I think it's actually really important that you get paid for late cancellations. And you all know the reasons why for that. And we all know the things that stand in the way. I want to remove those things that stand in the way. I want to be that buffer for you. And I want clients to be able to find the right therapist and the right help that they need, because, I think when anyone gets the help that they need to be more at home with themselves and to be more connected to essentially who they really are, I think that has a ripple effect out into the world. And I think that is the glorious work that we do as therapists. And that's a part of my vision as well, that clients find the help that they need and the ripple effect of that therapists have a sustainable business so that they can keep doing that work and they can keep showing up for clients, and you don't have to spend as much time and energy working on the business side and the marketing, which generally is not our skill set. Thanks so much for listening. Give us a go. Jump on Source, and I really look forward to connecting with you, to hopefully having you help shape the way that Source grows. And I can't wait to start helping you build and maintain a sustainable practice. Thanks.